Hi everyone, this is Korosh Erfani. Today is Thursday, October 3rd, 2025. Yesterday there was a meeting between President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping in South Korea. And we got the news according to which there was an agreement. Many people are talking about this agreement. We are going to talk about that too. But there are several points that can be underlined regarding this meeting. First of all, it was in a third country in South Korea, neither in China nor in the United States. That's the first point, which is meaningful. The second was a very cold reception of President Trump by the Chinese president. Many medias and social media posts are enhancing this point. As you can see here, it says that President Xi of China humiliates Donald Trump with a very obvious cold reception. Trump awkwardly tries to force, we have a great relationship several times, but an icy Xi refuses to play along. So the Chinese president was very reluctant to have a warm attitude regarding the American president for some reasons, for sure. And we can hint to some of them, or at least a few of them here in this presentation. But let me say that the meeting didn't last that much. You know, it was 45 minutes on the whole, and it shows that it was not really negotiations, commercial or economic negotiations, but much more as a kind of arrangement for the American side, because the Chinese showed effectively in this tariff war that they are not afraid of having a lot of a huge amount of tariff over the Chinese exportation toward the United States, because at the end of the day, these are the American consumers who have to pay. Of course, the Chinese are aware about this internal situation of the United States, for sure, and essentially regarding the economy. They know that when the people are talking about, as you can see here, the question is the Trump economy on the track for a crash? So the economists are telling us that something bad is going to happen. And we can see today, after a move by Federal Reserve, and after the announce of this agreement, so-called agreement, today the stock market didn't really show a very positive attitude regarding that, and we had several indicators going down. So which means that beyond the show-off, beyond the facade, there are the serious matters that are worrying people and essentially the companies. So among them, it's a lack of stability, right? There is no really an economic, or we can say political stability in the United States. And that's the reason why the people start to be worried, really worried about that. So when we see this kind of news, look at that. So it's a breaking news. Up to 3,500 National Guard troops are being trained for civil unrest missions in cities, and indication that the Trump administration's effort to send military forces into urban centers could become the norm, which means that we should be ready to have the military forces in the streets everywhere in the United States. So like a a country that is going through a coup or a military action or something. So when the Chinese and other countries of the world, of course, are observing what's going on in the United States at this level, they don't believe that there would be a bright future for the United States. And that's why, as any other economic actors, they don't want really to calculate for the long-term agreement or commitment regarding the United States economy, right? So that's the reason for which all that have been discussed between these two presidents were about just the rare minerals, and a little reduction of the tariff. Otherwise, nothing. Nothing strategic or important can be seen really in these so-called negotiations, which was, as I told you, just a meeting and arrangement on the benefit of the American sides in order, to maybe handle this regular fall of the economic indicators here, and essentially those of the stock markets. So let's also talk about this completely chaotic policy of the United States on the international scene started to give the idea to most probably the leaders of China that they don't have any more a serious partner for themselves, which means that now the China is not really seeing the United States as a serious, credible actor on the international arena, right? So they see, of course, a huge force, militarily and economically speaking, but at the same time, it doesn't show really the status, the posture of a real superpower. So that's why China is now seeing itself as maybe the only superpower on the international chessboard, right? So because they don't think that with someone like Trump, changing his mind almost every other hour, they can really build up a kind of cooperative strategy with the United States. That's why they are ready to, play the little games like it was the case yesterday, but nothing maybe strategically and in the long run. The reason is very simple. The American, we can say the United States has lost its international credibility. There is no more really any serious and respected status for what had been done. So we don't see the posture of a superpower for this, foreign policy of the Trump administration. So that's why maybe other countries also started to see the United States like this, with a very fragile future, because some people are talking about the possibility of economic crash. Others are suggesting the probability of a kind of civil war in the United States. We can see the tension right now in New York around the election of the new mayor, and most probably with the election of Zohran Mamdani in New York, we are going to have much deeper troubles over there, and maybe New York will be the first city from where the future American Civil War can start. So we can, be attentive about all of this. and see how it's evolving. Of course, the White House is making its usual propaganda. Look at this. President Trump is heading back to Washington, D.C. after his historic trip to Asia. Hundreds of billions of dollars are now flowing into the United States. Plus how much it was? Something like 17 trillion dollars before. So hundreds of billions supplementary is coming. And this part is very interesting. Despite what we said for the loss of any serious posture on the international scene, by the United States, it says our nation is strong, respected, and admired again. So that's the fantasy, okay? That's the lunatic people over there typing that and posting it. We can understand that. There is nothing objective or serious in this kind of purpose. So that's why this discrepancy between the reality, which is not bright at all, and this show off, this fake presentation of the situation by White House and the company will create serious troubles in the United States. This lag cannot be really continue in this way, and we are going to have surely much more troubles and serious issues here, most probably an economic, political, and also social crisis. We will see. At the end, I would like to thank all those who support these videos, have supported during these 2 months where I was producing and presenting them. This is the 60th video of this series that I wanted to produce, and I finished this series with this video. From November on, I am going to produce a weekly program that is called Weekly Talk, and every week I am publishing it on YouTube. It's about some political or social subjects, but in a more elaborated way, and maybe a little longer, and of course with much more have time to prepare that. So that's the idea. Anyway, I thank you for watching this video, for supporting, for commenting, for sharing them, and I hope see you very soon in November with a new weekly program. Thank you very much.